Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Hopefully you guys really enjoy this video, as I think it's something that's really important for a lot of people to be able to understand what they will need to be able to travel in a place like Chile that maybe people have heard a lot about but don't know much about. So in this video, I'm going to give you guys the 5 most important tips to be able to travel here in Chile. Let's get right into it. Tip number 1. Chile has everything. What do I mean by this? Chile has mountains, forests, beaches, cities, deserts. Chile literally has everything for you to see. Chile even has penguins and an Antarctic. On the opposite side, Chile has the driest desert in the world. So what can't you find in Chile? Make sure you have enough time to be able to experience everything. So take your time when you come to Chile. Don't come for 2-3 days, because you're gonna end up disappointed and feeling like you should have done more. Come for as much time as you can. Tip number 2. Spanish in Chile is different. So don't get too confident if you speak a little Spanish. I've had people from Dominican Republic, Cuba, Mexico, Colombia, Venezuela, native speakers come to Chile and not be able to understand a lot of the things that they're talking about. Chile has a very unique language and slang that's pretty much just native to Chile. A lot of people don't know what they're running into when they come here. So make sure that you're ready to confront a Spanish that's a little bit different, a little bit confusing, but overall completely different and something amazing to learn. Don't get discouraged by it. Just know it may be a little bit different than what you're used to. My third tip, and I cannot stress this enough. Don't go to the same places everyone goes to. Discover places that aren't as popular or as well known. For example, and I made a video on this, I'll link it in the description. Everybody goes to Valparaiso. And Valparaiso is a beautiful place. Like, I can't really say don't go there. Like, yeah, if you have the chance, go there. But it's not the only place in the world. It's not the only beach in the world. I went to a place recently called Cartagena, which is not too far from Valparaiso, and I absolutely fell in love with it. Same things happen with mountains or skiing, snowboarding. People will go to Torres del Paine, and obviously, again, beautiful place. Can't say much about it. But it's not the only place. You can go to Farellones, Valle Nevado, Portillo, several places in the south that have snow in the mountains, and they're not as expensive. Usually when you go to different places, they're cheaper, less crowded, and a little bit more fun. So try and look for the places that aren't as popular and all over the place. Try and find places for you to discover. And here you can find a list of the places I would recommend that maybe aren't as well known but are definitely worth it. Tip number 4. Chile is not a cheap country. I think it's very important for you guys to understand this. Chile is not cheap, especially compared to its surrounding countries. If you go to Bolivia, Peru, Argentina, even Brazil, you're gonna find that the price difference in a lot of things you pay there and a lot of things you pay here are quite high. Now, obviously, this might sound a little bit less attractive if you're traveling on a budget. But at the same time, you do get what you pay for. Because Chile is a little bit more expensive, it'll also have more of a first world experience, or at least closer than the surrounding countries. Chile, because of its expensive nature, has more of a first world standard, especially when it comes to tourism. So don't just think it's more expensive just because. At the end of the day, Chile is an expensive place because they have higher standards. So be ready to pay more for accommodation, food, transportation, and sometimes flights. Just make sure you're not confused about the pricing so that you can come and enjoy a good time here in Chile. My fifth tip, and I think is the one that's overlooked the most, and that I think is very important. Tip number 5. Know what's happening in the country before you come, or check the dates. There are important dates here in Chile that may affect your travel very much, and they repeat every year, and every year I run into people making the same mistakes. One day people come and they can actually quite enjoy, but depending on what you're expecting, is the 18th of September, 18 de septiembre, Independence Day for Chile. Now, if you really want to experience Chilean culture at its fullest, be here for the 18 de septiembre, the 18th of September. It's Chile's Independence Day, and I would say here in Chile, it's more important than Christmas. So it's amazing. There's a lot of Chilean food, a lot of Chilean drinks, a lot of Chilean people just celebrating the Chilean culture. What else does that mean when you travel though? Usually that means that from the 16th all the way up to the 19th, nothing is open. Most supermarkets are closed, shops are closed, restaurants are closed. Sometimes tours don't happen. Basically, nobody works. Everyone celebrates. Everyone has fun. And when you're traveling, that may not be very convenient for you. You're not gonna be at the family grill. You're gonna be in your hotel. You may wanna go out to a restaurant and it's closed. Buy some food at the supermarket. It's closed. Go to the shop. It's closed. So just be aware that it's a wonderful time to come in, but make sure you're prepared. Day number 2, I would recommend this one not coming at all. March 29th of every year. March 29th of every year, this day is remembered, and I won't go too much into the details, but it's a day that's remembered for people to go and protest. Now, in Chile, protests happen a lot. It's very normal here, and you don't want to get mixed up in a protest. So what does that mean? Everything closes as well because people go home, they don't go out, and they avoid everyone except those going to protest. So that's a day that's not fun for tourists, it's not fun for Chileans, and usually causes a lot of problem. Don't come to Chile, especially Santiago, on March 29th. The third day, which is similar to March 29th, is October 18th, which is something more recent. In 2019, when everybody in Chile went into the streets to protest political injustice, it basically stopped the whole country from October to March. So every year, it's also somewhat of an anniversary to go and protest on that same day. Don't go out on this day either. It's dangerous, you might run into trouble, and usually everything is closed as well. So be careful. I would say this is the most important tip. But don't let that steer you away from Chile. At the end of the day, there's a few days or a few people that may cause it to seem a little strange, or maybe you're just not used to it. But overall, Chile is a great place to come and visit. I think it's a place you'll really enjoy, and hopefully I can see you here. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want a part 2. Hope to see you again soon. I'll see you later.